Ready? I am so excited. I just said if you just joined, I really want to know, how did you land on this page? How did you find your way into this live session? I would love to hear from you. And what are, if you've been here before, oh my God, Michelle, I love that. Your topics in the titles are so perfect and intriguing. Oh, I love that. Well, let me know if you've been here before as well. Like, what have your takeaways been? How has it supported you so far? I would love to hear that if you would like to share. And if this is your first time, absolutely let me know how spirit guided you to my page, because I always say that there's never ever a coincidence that you landed here. So thank you for being here and staying on and tuning in, and we're going to get started on the newborn era channeled transmission. Oh my God, full shimmers. Who's excited about that? Let me know. Tap on the hearts. Please do let me know if that's something you're really excited about, because I truly am. And I really want this to be such an honest, heart-to-heart, no filter, really truly like beyond all the new agey positive vibes kind of thing. Not that it's not going to be positive, it is, but what I'm going to say is going to land very honestly about the whole chemistry, the workings of alchemy, of quantum leaps. Like, why are there moments that perhaps you feel I'm pretty aligned, but I'm not actually really living the life that I'm envisioning for myself? Why is that? All of these questions, we get to really address that in the newborn era. Okay, so if you're new here, and we're gonna dive in just about 1 minute, in just a minute, we're going to start officially. But if you are new, and also for those who have been here before, you know that I love to interact with you. And all of these sessions that we have here that are so incredibly precious, that I love to run for free, I would love for you to know that this is very similar to the structures of my mentorship calls that I have with my private clients. So if you would like to put in a question or ask for a mentorship, just leave it in the comments. I would love to converse with you. Hello, Azra. I would love to converse with you. And if you want to powwow that with me, this is an incredible opportunity for you to get that in a group setting. Okay? Just wanted to put it out here for you. What else about housekeeping? So another thing I would love for you to know is that if you ever feel like, hello, Els, welcome. So if you ever feel like you have to run, you can't stay for the whole thing, I totally understand. We've got lives to live and all of that. Although if you are committed to stay for the next hour, I salute you. I'm so glad to have you, and I truly appreciate that you do. If you do have to run, just know that this replay will live on my Instagram page. So if you haven't followed me on there yet, you no idea that I am on Instagram, you can just tap on over to the link in my bio, and you can just register yourself or follow me or whatever. Just tap on it when you see it, okay? When it comes up, when you see, if you know kind of vibe, okay? All right, beautiful ones. So I think we can get started. Yeah, if you are seated, simply allow yourself to be still for a few moments here. If you are standing or if you're walking, I would highly encourage that you find a way to seat yourself. If not, if that's impossible, if you're driving, please do not do this. But if you are standing or walking, just allow yourself to stay calm. Allow this to be a walking meditation. Allow this to be a standing meditation wherever you are. And let's dive in. Let's dive in. Let's activate the field, as I would call it. All right? All right, beautiful ones. If you can hear my voice be above the music, can you let me just know, like, yes? Give me a heart, whatever signs you can give me, that will be very appreciated. So thank you so much. All right, beautiful ones. So if you're seated, you can allow yourself to be in a lotus seat position, Or if you're on a chair and you feel like it's more comfortable without crossing your legs, you can simply allow the soles of your feet to touch the ground. Okay. If you're in a lotus position, allow your pelvic bowl to really land. Allow yourself to be supported fully by Mother Earth. And today, we're going to have a little moment. The Tao's way of speaking of the body of a human is that it is a divine unfolding, a divine incarnation of what they call the mythical and celestial mountain, Kunlun mountain. And because we are made in the image of God, the divine, the cosmos, the mountain itself is very much speaking to our entire body, from the mental state to the physical, to the psychic, to the spiritual. It is all here. It is all here. We are entirely wholly here. There's nothing missing. There's nothing you need to add in or fix. So allow yourself to acknowledge that as you close down your eyes. And allow yourself to see your inner being coming to life. However she or he or they look like to you today. Allow your inner being to come to life. And slowly begin to see this swirling, spiraling constellation of stars cascading down from the heavens above, from the cosmos above, from the great mystery, cast down by the mysterious hands of the Divine Mother. And as it swirls around your inner being begins to transform into a lush mountain landscape. Let it land from the top of your head all the way down the spine, down into the pelvis. Let it fire up the pelvic bowl. Take a deep breath into the space below the navel. Big belly breath. And exhale all the way back up into the heart. And let the light transform any debris, any detritus of heaviness. Simply allow that to transform into wisdom and compassion now. And let the light lead. Let the light expand. And start to really become aware of the vertical axis between the top of the head and the bottom of your tailbone. Taking a deep breath in through the top of your head. And allow yourself now to transform, exhale, as you exhale, transform into the mythical celestial mountain. Feel how it feels like to be a mountain. Feel where your awareness is going towards mostly. Is it the peak? Is it the bottom part of the mountain? Or is it the middle part, the journeying, the in-between spaces? Simply becoming aware with it, seeing it as it is. There's no right or wrong, You simply are there. Feel your beauty and power. Feel the mist swirling around you. Feel the peak of you reaching up into the stars. Feel the base of you planted deep in the earth, deeper than deep, beyond the earth, deeply connected with the center of Mother Earth. And feel the clear streams of water and the light rushing through you. The sun appears on the west or the east side, and it sets on the west, and then again and again and again, and the rivers running through you. Clear channel of river of light running through you. Now bring your awareness to the top of your head, the highest point of the mountain peak, and realize this is the realm of the King of the Eastern Sky and Emperor of the Rising Sun. Visualize a single star shining just a few inches above your head. See it, feel it. And feel the light of this star pouring down on you in a radiant shower of liquid gold now. Just let it come through. Don't hold back. This is the light, the pure young light of heaven and conscious awareness. And if you do not resonate with the words heaven, perhaps cosmos, the infinite, divine light, pure, unified, non-separation, non-dual, completely pure divine light. Let it pour through you. Let it feel real, because it is. Feel the golden light drift down through your body, coming to rest in the space at the center of your heart. And breathe into the heart space now. Amplify it. Embody the light. Let the light start to take on form and color. Let it drift down like the mists and clouds on the mountainside. Let it move into the heart completely, entering the realm of vision and imagination. So what it is that you envision of your life, what it is that you imagine for your life. And since we are at the very end of 2024 and moving into the new frequency of 2025, maybe you would like to take this moment to envision that. And change can happen in an instant. In fact, change happens in an instant. Doesn't need to take time. You are a being beyond time and space. Let yourself remember now. Soak it in. Let it really be amplified. Let it magnify in your heart. Then follow the light. Continue to let the light drift downwards, coming to rest in the solar plexus. Breathe into the solar plexus now and feel the light gathering potency and weight as it is now descending deeper towards gravity, deeper through denser denser realms. So feel the light taking root in your belly now as it moves deeper beyond the solar plexus. Like a seed taking root in your dantian, in the fertile valley at the mountain's edge. This is the realm of the spirit of embodied action and intention around the belly area and your spleen. So it isn't just about inspired visions and imagination. It's only a fantasy until you take action, until you bring it into life. Feel that. Feel that certainty. Feel that power that you hold here. Let your wisdom center be activated. This is your wisdom center. Now, let your awareness drop even deeper. Oh yes, we're going to have some fun here today. Let's go even deeper beyond, below the navel, down into the dark caves, below the mountain, into the pelvic basin. Take a moment to feel the powerful energies that reside here. This is the realm of the very pure yin spirit, of the animal body, the breath, and the autonomic nervous system, your nervous system, the subconscious patterns, the behaviors that sponsors the conscious thoughts. So if you ever had a moment where you affirmed, you have affirmations of like, I am this, I am that, but then you're still acting in a different way and you're wondering why, well, that's because the sponsoring thought, the subconscious patterns are still running. So we want to shine a light here so that we know what's going on. No parts are left behind in this place. You can guarantee that. Don't be afraid. Now go deeper. Go deeper beyond, below the mountain. Go down to the darkest cave, to a point at the base of your spine. Now I want you to really feel the energies that pulsate here. Feel the ebbing and flowing of dark waters. Feel the ebbs and flow of the tides of your cerebral spinal fluids expanding and contracting. Let your consciousness become so embedded here in the darkness. Just surrender to the darkness and allow it to envelope you in the dark ocean of the yin waters of life. This is the realm of the spirit of the collective unconscious, cellular memories, ancestral wisdom, primal symbols, luminous threads of fate. This is the pure yin reflection of what we call the Tao. The Tao itself is unity consciousness. It is the great mystery that all originates from and all will return to. This is the earthly representation of that right here. This is where transformation happens. Now, at the base of your spine, this is where we come to the center of the alchemical mystery, the dark womb of the mysterious feminine. Now, all I want you to do is to breathe and wait, and do nothing but that. The wind is howling today in Scotland. the winds of change, bringing chaos beyond human control. We are surrendering to that power, that Kali fire, that Kali power, that surrender is power. Because if we try to control it, if we try to resist it, all we are doing is we are reversing this transformational process. And that is truly why the world is mostly steeped in anxiety. There is eating disorders, which I went through myself. And so I know how it feels like. Depression, all of the things, doubts. So here we are. Breathe into the deepest, most hidden point of the body and surrender to the power of the mysterious feminine, because she will transform you. She will. And don't let my words simply be what you understand. Go there. See for yourself. Know for yourself. Breathe, continue to breathe until you feel a tingling begin at the base of the spinal column. This is the fire of the yin, your blue fire that rises from down below. The fiery spring of the life force, the river of liquid light. It's like a volcanic eruption that gushes up from the heart of the earth. Breathe now. Breathe this underworld fire upwards. You can bring it up the spine, up through the pelvis. Keep sucking it in. Keep bringing it up the spine, up, up, up into the solar plexus, into the heart. And when it reaches the heart, feel the luminous yin fire, the blue light, and the spirit of your heart. The vision and the imagination mingle with each other. Let it land here. Let the yang light all mingle together. Your vision and imagination are dropped in from the cosmos above, and now it's merging with your earthly fire. Yin and yang in sacred union now. Breathe into the heart. Breathe and feel the light pouring in from above and below. Keep breathing until you feel subtle streams of pleasure radiating out from the heart and filling up your entire body, because this is it. This is divine union. Your human and your divinity as one. Let compassion and love pour through you. Breathe the two lights into your heart. Breathe the alchemical marriage of yin and yang. Let this dance of the union continue. On and on and on into the infinite. To live this sacred union is your greatest service to the world. Let it fill up the space you're in. Let it flood through the gates, through beyond the house you're in, the flat you're in, the building you're in. Let it really go out into the world. Feel your toroidal field rising and expanding into the cosmos. And continue to feel the light pouring in from above and below. Beautiful. Oh my goodness. Wow. So slowly now you're going to open your eyes. And when you open your eyes, you may feel like the light is going to radiate all the way out. So let it feel that way. If you feel like, oh no, it's like the X-Men Cyclops Sometimes I feel that way. You can just close your eyes again and just slowly bring yourself back into the body, and just twist your spine and look over your shoulders with your eyes closed. Big belly breath, and you exhale through the central channel in your body, out through the top of your head. And then to the other side, same thing, twisting the spine to look over your shoulders. Big belly breath, and exhale out through the top of your head. Just like that, you are coming more and more into your body, and you can just open your eyes. And don't be afraid to let this continue to shine out into the world. Incredible energy, incredible energy. How's everyone feeling? How's everyone feeling? That was an incredible, like, I literally felt so much light. And this is a powerful light. It isn't just something you light and it just gets blown off by the wind. Like I said, you know, we are experiencing a high voltage of wind where I am right now in Scotland. And I really feel like this is like the winds of change, and it's no coincidence that it is occurring on the black moon, final new moon of the year. And very swiftly, we are going to move in from the dragon year in the lunar calendar into the snake year. The Ouroboros, yeah, the snake that ate its own tail, and also the infinite, the infinite number of 8 is going to turn into the completion number of 9 as well in 2025. So we're in really incredible times. We really are. So the mountain that you are, you know, it's important to continue to cultivate the connection. Yeah. All right, let me know how you're feeling. Beautiful. Thank you. Alan Star, you were in tears. Oh my goodness. Thank you. All right, let me get a sip of water. And please get tons of water where you are as well. Keep yourself hydrated, because that was really what an activation. Incredible. And I really wanted to come in today, and it was a very last minute, like I didn't think that I would be doing anything until the new year, but it was very last minute, and it was just a moment of like, you know, what what the divine wants, the divine gets. And you know, I'm here to be the pure light and vessel, and here I am with the newborn era. So first and foremost, the newborn era is actually a name that really stuck out to me, because it's actually the name that we use in English to describe some incredible shou-pu'er tea. So shou-pu'er is a very fermented Yunnan tea. It's from Yunnan, China. It's from those very old, ancient, old growth, wild growth trees. And pu'er is highly sought after because it's so medicinal. But also, if you are into the, you know, if you're psychic, if you are if you have that vision, when you drink pu'er, some incredible visions and enlightening transmissions can really come through. So the newborn era is one of the eras. There are many eras. There is the masterpiece era, there is the seven sons era, like they are highly sought after. So the newborn era is actually an era that we often think about tradition meeting the new world. And that is why I thought this is a perfect way to come into a conversation about how can we move into 2025 in a way that really empowers us, and also to know, you know, where we are at right now. Where are we right now? What's going on in our lives, and have a real talk as well in terms of what we're often maybe sometimes I think misled to understand what it really is when it's not really what it is. So again, like I said at the beginning of the conversation we're having, you can always put that in the comments if you have something you want to share and what's coming up for you, if you have any questions, so that I can have a good conversation with you as well. It's not just me talking at you. I really want to talk with you and share this channeled transmission that really came through. So one of the things that really came through when I was sitting with this powerful transmission that propelled me to say I need to share something is that I really actually had some of the hardest days past few days. So since solstice, which is the 21st or 22nd of December, and then culminating in Christmas, and then yesterday during my birthday, it was actually one of the hardest times I've ever experienced. And because I know that this is happening, reason being that there is such a high level of light coming through, and the reason why my mind is trying to logic its way and analyze its way into understanding why everything is happening. And this is for all of you as well. If you oh, thank you, Jennifer. If you notice that your mind is being highly critical, whether to yourself or others, don't be afraid of that. Don't judge the mind, and don't feel like you need to pander to that and say that, oh yeah, they're so right, that meal sucked, or that person sucks, or whatever. What it's doing is basically is trying to make sense of this higher level of frequency that you are actually receiving. And I want to speak about this because as we come back from the meditation, if you remember at the beginning, the spiral of light that surrounded your inner being and transformed it into a mountain, all of you are that inner being. All of you have that. You are that. There is a saying, to be is to be divine. Actually, the full original saying is to be Buddha. And this is so beautiful because in Zen Buddhism or Chan Buddhism, oftentimes we talk about really becoming one with all that is. So there is literally no I. You actually enter a realm where it is your existence before you even knew that you existed. That is an empty center that makes you useful to the infinite, to all that is. Because now your I, yourself, the ego self, the intellect is not standing in the way of your direct experience with the beloved, with God, the divine, Tao. And it is important for me to say this before I continue going into this, is that I stand here with what I am sharing without any doctrine or dogma. So I'm not asking you to believe what I'm saying. I'm not asking you to even consider this as anything that has anything against your religion or your current beliefs. But what I do want to invite you into is to have an open curiosity. Because everything we do, and we're going to come into this in a bit, everything we do in the way of tea is to have that open curiosity, to have and cultivate actually this sense of complete fluidity, to be completely so fluid to the point where you find yourself at a place where there is no intense rejection, neither there is an intense desire. So what that means is you don't put your desires on a pedestal and become so attached to it, and neither do you put the people that you think your mind thinks that is not that great in the pits, to the point where you are harshly judging them for not being good enough. Because everyone is on their journey, and this goes beyond even judgment. This is like literally being in a place that we call effortless action. And this is the place where I desire to take you. This is really the place that I truly want to take all of my beautiful multidimensional women to, because what you have is such a powerful gift. But the way we can access that is not just, studying what manifestation is, like, I want to manifest that house, I want to manifest money, I want to manifest blah, blah, blah. It's so much more than that. And sometimes I often say this, is that you will come to a point where you're being asked, like, are you willing? Are you willing to still believe? Are you still willing to believe the vision that you hold in moments when the evidence do not exist yet? How many of you are in that state, right? And I often want to bring this up as well, because I've been there many times in the past couple of years, especially. I never thought I would be doing this work ever. I was born and raised in a healthy family. I was born and raised Chinese, in Chinese culture. And so a lot of times in the culture, the most important thing was to actually become a high achiever, to have a degree. It has to be like a first class degree. It has to be like, you have to have a really good job. And then by the time you're 30, you're married, you have the picket fence and all of that stuff, right? And you have a great title and a great job and all of that. And for a long time, I often actually I really did believe that was the only reason to exist. It really is to study really hard, get into a really good university, And the funny thing is, when I was growing up, I was actually a child who was really big on dreaming. I was dreaming a lot, and I used to, like, as a child, I remember running through the fields and talking to things in between the grass and the flowers. Like, don't ask me what I was talking to, right? And I would have all these incredible, like, stories, and I don't even know whether I can quite remember anymore, but I remember being in such a beautiful land, a dreamland, I would call it. But oftentimes I think they are real. They were real to me at the time. And so I didn't really study. Like, I just thought, I don't really care, like, tests, exams, whatever, man. Like, I'm just gonna, like, just cruise, I'm just gonna do it. Until I think I was 15. And I failed my examination. Like, it was a very important exam to get into, like, the next, whether you go into a science stream or an art stream. And it's really funny because at the time, all the children, they aspire to go into the science stream, because that is like the smart people's class, And obviously, I very nearly failed, and that was the first moment I think I had, like, a reality check, let's put it that way, of like, this is how bad it's going to be if you do not conform to the status quo of society. Has anyone ever had that? Like, let me know in the comment section. So that was my first experience, and from that moment on, I started to think in a way, because that was the moment that solidified a first limiting belief. You have to work really hard. You have to be smart enough to be respected. You have to be smart enough to mix with the really smart people. And you don't matter if you're in that class, and all of that stuff, right? So I became highly competitive. I became I studied really hard. I said, I'm going to turn things around. And I did. That's the crazy thing. I did. And I got into a really good college. I got into an incredible university. And at that time, I was busting my ass. Like, I was like, people were telling me, with your history, I don't think you can even go into that university in the UK. And I said, I'll show you. And this is the life, like, this is the MO of my life at the time. If you say to me, I can't do that, I'll show you. And that fired me up so much. I was like, yes, I'm going to show you. And it took me for a distance. It really did. It helped me. It gave me an advantage. I became like a top at my class. I got into the university I wanted, and I did all the things. I got the job that I wanted, and flew into incredible places, all the things. And yet, I was so miserable. I was so miserable, and I was hiding a secret from everyone. I had a really bad case of eating disorder. And it came to such a state, it was so bad that I was admitted to the hospital. I had to be hooked up to an IV drip. I remember the doctor coming in and saying, you are in your 20s, but you have a body constitution of a woman in her 60s. My period stopped coming. I had no clue. And the worst thing, beyond the body parts, you know, it was like I was so confused, like to eat or not to eat. Like I couldn't hear my intuition. I couldn't hear even my instinctual will at all. And this is what I mean when we do not honor our intuition, when we do not honor who we really are. We become so lost in the chaotic noises that are perhaps your own inner voice or even other people's voices, right? And so it is important to put here that if you say to me right now, Ling, I am so aligned, I feel good about my life, I feel like I'm getting everything, great. But if you're saying to me, I feel so aligned, but I'm not really living the life that I really thought I would be living. And I want to be clear, this is the life that you really, really, really think you are going to live. And maybe think is not even the right word. It's like it's like a deep knowing in the depth of your soul. It's not the life that your grandmother told you you're going to live. It's not the life your mother said you should live, or your friends, or to compare or to compete. Not that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the purest, pura vida, like that sense of deep knowing beyond circumstances, beyond vicissitudes, beyond what the economy is, all of that. So if you're telling me that, raise your hand right now. There's no shame. You can absolutely tell me right now. You can tell me, I'm so aligned, I'm living the life that I'm living. Thank you very much. And then you can kind of just jump off this, actually, because there's nothing you need to know. But if you're saying, I'm feeling aligned, but the things that I thought that I'm gonna have, and the life that I'm gonna live, the things I'm gonna create, I'm not really doing it. I feel like I'm procrastinating a little bit, but I do feel at peace. I do feel, good most of the time. I'm grateful most of the time. I'm grateful, right? This is the big sign. I'm grateful, but I'm aligned, but, right? So we want to really address that if that's coming up, okay? Because if that is happening, that is a good point, Tanya. Work in progress, not there yet. We are never really, no, this is the thing. The first thing we want to become so aware of when we say this is we are unapologetically incomplete. I say this to my client all the time because it's such a worthy part of the way of tea that I teach and guide. And that is, the mystery is found in the incomplete. And this is why in tea, when we're in ceremony, the utensils that we use, the bowls, the scoop, the tea, everything about it is almost something you can pick up from nature. And there is something so irregular, so profoundly maybe ordinary to some people, because I have met people who are like, why are you using this in the ceremony when you could use something that is completely like new and perfectly made, like porcelain? And you hardly actually see porcelain being used in tea ceremony, funnily enough, because porcelain is very perfect. It's like factory made, or it's not handmade. And so we are all mysteries in the incomplete, and that is the exciting bit. And so since Tanya brought this up, I would love to invite all of you to feel into this and be very, very, very honest with yourself. If there is any sense of guilt and shame when you say that I'm a work in progress. Not to yourself, but imagine yourself saying this to the world, saying this to the most important person in your life. Perhaps to your clients, perhaps to your husband, your wife, your mother, your father, your children. Can you say that without guilt or shame? Can you say that loud and proud? Yes, Tanya. Yes. So, if we are feeling that, we want to start to come into the stage of unlearning. And this is the stage that a lot of us are poised to do when you come into a place of awareness. Yeah, starting to become aware. It's like, ooh, that part really triggers me. That makes me feel not good. Like that really is something that is a little bit triggering for me. Why is that making me feel like this? Why is that bringing up my inner child? Why is this? That is the part where you want to become a sacred witness to, without any guilt, without any shame, without any criticism, without any judgment. And this is the part where I love to work with in the setting of a tea ceremony. And I want to just bring that forward here because, you know, a lot of us can drink tea. Like everyone can be a patron of tea. Everyone can go to a tea ceremony. There's no right or wrong. But the ones who can really walk the way are really the ones who can see the infinite in the tea, who can connect with the ultimate, the divine Tao. This is why the way of tea has survived and evolved for so long throughout the centuries. And also why not a lot of people can really grasp it completely and fully. Mind you, I am still a student. I think I'll be a student forever. And that is so incredible for me because there's endless creativity, there's endless creations through this mentality. But that doesn't mean I'm not out here serving. That doesn't mean that I'm not out here leading. You know why? Because a utensil, a bowl, it doesn't mean anything unless we can truly see it for what it is and use it, right? And as we use it, we start to understand it, and the freedom that comes from the understanding is what we all want to cultivate together. So how does that apply to your life? That applies to your original nature. Because in a ceremony with tea, there is a space, there's emptiness in this space where I'm not telling you how to feel, I'm not telling you what to do, that allows your original nature to unfold. Your remembrance as a cosmic being, how you connect with Earth and the cosmos, how the universe is always guiding you. You are the only one who can come into full understanding of the language it speaks. Anything else is just not pure, but like a filtered explanation that your intellect can understand. Even here with me, your intellect can understand, but you have to experience that in order to understand for yourself your own original nature. Just like the utensils in the tea ceremony, just like what's a good tea? What's a good tea to use in spring? What's a good tea to use in autumn, winter, summer? What ceremonial decoration should I use for the season? What is the specific occasion for today that is going to allow the lilacs to flourish? All of the things that are in a ceremony that people love and feel such a close connection to are actually ordinary daily things. Flowers, wood, teaware, tea, even. There's nothing, like this is the thing, like mastery really comes when you see the extraordinary in the ordinary. And this is what I love really seeing happening in the mentorship spaces with tea. And I can really attest to that. This is my life. This is truly what I experience every day. And yes, not everyone will see it yet. And that is the ultimate test. It's like when we talk about trust, when we talk about the vision, your faith, the unwavering faith, it's not when you have, you know, a full bank account, or when everyone in your life is saying, yeah, go for it. It's when nothing in your life is evidently showing you that it is the path. And I was just talking to my parents today with tears rolling down my eyes, actually. I was saying, you know, this year has been such a test. And I know that it isn't a test, but what I meant is that it almost feels like God is saying to me, the divine is saying to me, you know, you really want to walk the Tao? You really want to be the wisdom carrier of Cha Tao? Well, you'll have to master this. And the mastering of this is surrendering everything I know, and even to the extent of really dropping the material wants, dropping the material things that defines who I am. And this isn't to say, oh, don't make any money, don't. I fully love money. I love how it can transform lives. I love how it can bring spirituality to the next level, which is really where we're headed, by the way, guys. If you have guilt and shame surrounding money, there's work to do. There's work to do. If you see people in luxury and you say, well, that's not quite right, that's not very spiritual, you've got work to do. You've got work to do, because, and this isn't my saying, by the way, it's been years and years, it's been centuries that the Zen Buddhist patriarchs actually said this, is one of the Buddhist monks. Matter and spirit, one and the same. Matter and spirit, they are one and the same. And this is why Zen monks have for years practiced the way of tea, because they understand that through matter they can enter spirit. They can enter the spirit of the realm that we speak of, the merging of matter and spirit. And tea, you know, I often get asked the question as well. BD is saying, yes, sister, you're speaking wisdom. The tea is moving through you. It's always moving through me, by the way. Yes. What we really want to know is that tea really, you know, I often get asked, by the way, why tea? Can it be cabbage soup? Can it be banana stuff? Like, can it be anything else? Like, can it even be ayahuasca? And my answer often is that I don't know. I mean, at the beginning, I tried to answer this question very logically, but now I can really honestly, hand on heart, say I don't know. Because I think tea often is such a human plant, like it wants to be with humans. It wants to be with humans. For centuries, it's been with humans in all the ways that humans have treated her. And when it is being unfolded in a ceremony, you can often see the likeness of tea and human, the tea and the original nature of who we are. So tea comes into the ceremony like this, just like that, dried, sleeping, in meditation, deep meditation. And through the alchemical fire that boils the water, it brings to life, it awakens, it initiates the awakening of the tea. And it is the same for you. It's like the meditation we just did, going into the depth of the waters of your unconscious patterns, the depth of your cellular memories, things that you had no idea, and then it surfaces. brought upon by the fires of what we call suffering, or what we call like resistance, what we call hardships or challenges in life. So these things, when we start to meet them without saying, oh my God, that is working against me, that's not good, we start to see that they are actually all happening for us, initiating our awakening at every level. And remember the spiraling motion. When we are embodying the divine being that we are, we become that spiral that's ever upward spiraling, never not. Never not. Not that you're not when you are unconscious, but when you're conscious, you can play with it, you can become it. So firstly, like I said, we have to unlearn the debris of, unconscious patterns, the behaviors that do not serve us, the limiting beliefs that perhaps we took on from outside of us or from within us. Again, cellular memories from past lives, or even the current life that you live. Unlearning, really unlearning all those little knots, and then bringing it all together to full embodiment. So once you unlearn, there is emptiness, there is space for your authenticity, your original nature to rise. It can truly come through, and you can start to embody that. And how do you embody that? You take action. You take embodied action. You be, you are. To be is to be divine. Remember that. To be is to be divine, right? So I want to talk about the part between unlearning and embodying here for a moment. Because how many of us have done the healing and you're still probably stuck in the healing? Because you think, oh, I need to still unlearn that. Or you may be thinking, I need to learn that. I need to learn that. This is such a dilemma of the modern times. Instead of unlearning, we're piling on all the information, we're overloading, we're consuming, we're over-consuming, and then we get confused, and then we say, oh my God, I don't know anymore, and then you just kind of stop. So unlearning is actually a purifying that, again, going back to tea, it really is such a powerful medicine that can help you to move through and purify the mind, purify the heart, even the body as well. So this is something that happens very naturally as you go through that, as your Tao reconnects with the greater Tao. So the in-between is that dissolution, the dissolution of the old, right? And yet the new has not quite emerged yet. And I think this is the part where a lot of people give up, because they're thinking, well, I've given up the old, I've gone all in, and the new, where is it? Where is it? Right? So being in mentorship, and I'm going to say this very, 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 very upfront, being in mentorship is really, really powerful at this point. Being in a mastermind with people who are going through the same things is very, very powerful, because you are surrounded by people who get it. That you don't need to come in and explain yourself all the time, that you don't have people just shutting you down when you're telling them your vision or desires, or like the worst thing you can ever do is like going to someone with a logical mind and telling you, no, that's not gonna happen, because, right? Who's with me? Who's with me on this, right? Seriously. So one of the beautiful things that we do in ceremony with tea, firstly, is that we come into a field of infinite potential. And how we do that is we actually literally unlearn. We unattach from our identities in the moment, in the now. To enter a space of infinite potential, you have to become nobody. You have to become nobody. And tea in ceremony has a beautiful way of doing that. And in Zen, in Chan, we often talk about that. It's a place where the meditation makes the meditation. The meditation is meditating, not I am meditating in meditation. It's the teaware that makes the teaware, not I made the teaware. It's a place where the I dissolves completely, so that you become aware of your infinite self. You become aware that you are the unified field. You are the infinite field, right? And so once we're there, that's where the fun begins, because now you get to see the possibilities, all the possibilities. And when you're able to direct your thought, when you're able to flow your chi towards a very potent possibility, and you can feel it, and you can connect with it very directly, you collapse time. You literally collapse time. That's why I said in the meditation, change doesn't need to take time. Change is in an instant. This happens when a woman signs up for a mentorship with me. This happens when someone says, enough of this, I've decided. It is as simple as that. But a lot of us complicate things, right? So deciding is a very important part of the dissolution, and also the in-between spaces. So if I go back to my experience where a couple of years ago when I was healing from eating disorders, I had to decide, I had to come to a point where I had to decide, like, do I continue to live, or really keep going into this unconscious self-harming pattern and keep distancing myself from a life that I truly wanted to live. And so I decided, right? I decided at a time, like, okay, no matter what it takes, no matter how scary it feels, I'm going to do it. And that decision informed every action. So even in moments that I cannot see, and trust me, I couldn't see the result for a long time, guys. Like, my body was bloated. I was living like I was just like at one point shameful of how I looked, and isolated myself from any relationships. Like, this was a long journey, but I kept deciding, no, like, I know what I want in my life. I want to have a great relationship with people. I want to enjoy life. I don't want to live in fear. So I decided. So I kept making decisions that was aligned with that, right? So going back to, like, okay, you say you are aligned, but you're not really living the life you want to live, right? So check in here right now. What decisions are you making that are not aligned with that life that you envision your highest self or your higher self to live? Because there is no separation between you and the higher self. Both of you are very present right now, actually. You're actually one. She's within you, you're within her. Okay, this one I really want you to close the gap today. If you feel like there is like a gap between who you think you are and who you are, close it. Close it. And if you find that real difficult, you will benefit from mentorship. You really will. And this is an investment in yourself that is going to last for a lifetime. Like, it really is. Like, I can't tell you where I would be without mentorship. Without that, all the teachers, the guides, the mentors, I wouldn't be here. I really wouldn't. I probably wouldn't be here on earth. Really. And that's really truly what I feel. So let's be very clear. If you're in the in-between spaces, which is where our earth is really right now, to be honest, on this side of the hemisphere, We're in the in-between spaces. It feels very still. It feels like the void. It feels like nothing is here. And the new is not quite emerging yet. This is where you really want to come into mentorship. You really want to come into being supported. And truly understand that you deserve to be supported. You are worthy of being supported. You don't have to do more or be more to be able to be supported. Like, this is just a decision. It really is as simple as that. Like, I want to be supported. I choose to be supported, right? All right. So after that, we go into the stage of embodiment, like we just spoke about. And then this is where the fun parts begin. Actually, all of them are fun, but what I'm saying, like, this is the high level stuff, really. Unattaching from the outcome. Really also aka known as effortless action. Yes? Who here, like I said at the beginning of my story, you've tried really hard, you work really hard, you bust your ass, you do all the stuff, you've achieved so much, and you're not even, or maybe you're rarely even feeling satisfied, contented. Who's feeling that? Let me know in the comments. Let me know. So let me see what I wrote here. Okay, this is the fun part I would love to share. So let me drink a sip of water. I wrote notes today because I have so much I want to talk about, but I really don't want to forget that. So I literally like just wrote them like, and I'm trying to make sense of what I wrote when I was channeling it. So bear with me. But one of the things that we talk a lot about in this realm of, you know, I don't know what you want to call it, like spirituality or self-improvement. We talk a lot, maybe this is your first time hearing it, I don't know, but I often hear this a lot, which is transcendence. How do we transcend? You know, how do we, or more likely, finding joy, finding freedom, all of the things, right? This is the ultimate, like, yes, I want to have joy, I want to have more love, I want to have more freedom. But what I really have come to realize is that it truly isn't something to achieve. No surprises there, right? It actually exists right here, right now. And the way to that is actually transcendence. Transcending your current circumstances, transcending what your physical eyes can see, and understanding that there literally does not exist a single thing that is right or wrong, good or bad. It is only so through your perspective. So let's reel it back a bit here. Things that may happen to you, that you think is happening to you, but it's always happening for you, by the way, through you, as I would like to say. That you think, oh my god, why is this happening? I'm like at the pits of the pits, like I thought I did all the things and now I'm here. Why am I here? And sometimes you might even think, oh my god, why am I back here again? Right? If you're feeling that, let me know. And so what I have really realized is through the times that I've been through is that it really isn't, it really is a thing that I can immediately alchemize when I see it for what it is. And this is what the word meditation really is. It isn't about emptying my mind or finding silence or whatever. It's about being able to see it as it is. See it as it is. And then in that holy instant, you ask yourself, this does not define anything. It literally doesn't. So moving forward in the next second, in the next minute, How would I want to act? How would I want to think? How would I want to be? And so that includes, like, if I want to be peace, if I want to be stillness, if I want to be that higher self, right? Because that connects us instantly, then I wouldn't send that nasty email. I wouldn't shout at the person. I wouldn't make that phone call, that nasty phone call, right? And you start to, as you continue to master this, you actually start to come to a place where it's really, really powerful, because now you understand the term that there is no one else here. There's no one else here. I'll talk a little bit about that, Jennifer. Thank you for bringing that up. So when we come to a point where we realize that actually there's no one else here, then everything is a reflection of my consciousness, then it's telling me that there's a part of me that is not fully aligned with the higher self version that I envision, that I know I am, which is peace, love. Anything besides love is an illusion. It really is. So fear is just an absence of love. It really is. And the minute you say that, it's so powerful, because it really, like, something just cracks, like that illusion cracks, and you see it for what it is. And then you suddenly, poof, it dissolves. It dissolves back into love. It dissolves back into love, because you are love. You are love. There is no separation between you and love. So Jennifer is saying, I do have a hard time shifting my perspective in difficult times to transcend to that higher level dimensional reality. Yeah. So this is like saying, correct me if I'm wrong, but like this is like saying, how do I trust in those moments? How do I have unwavering faith in those moments? And higher level dimensional reality, literally, if you feel into this truth, is that it exists already now. It's not separate from you. It's not separate from who you are. It's already within you. And it desires to flow right through you in those moments when you feel it's so difficult. And how do we do that is often a question. But we don't ask often enough, who do I need to be for those moments, for that to come through me? Because that is the answer. You are the key. The how is just a logical mind's question. And the logical mind cannot know the infinite. It just cannot, because the logical mind only knows what it already knows. And so if you want to play predictable, if you want to play small, the logical mind is a good place to be. And you keep asking how. And you keep asking how, and then if you keep doing that, you start looking at other people. Oh, that's how she does it. Maybe I should try that. Oh, that's how they do it. Maybe I should try that. And then you keep running up against the wall, because that's not who you really are. And what I mean is, you are ultimately limitless. So why play so small? There is a part of that I love, this saying, I can't remember what book it was that I was reading, but it was so beautiful, because it said, if you, let me have a moment here. If you don't see what you want coming or manifesting, it's because you are asking for too little. You're asking for too little. So ask for more. Ask for more of life, because more of life desires to live through you. It always does. Always does. The fullest expression of who you are. Who is that? Okay. So Jennifer, I hope that brings forward something to you. I wanted to see if I can share this with you. I wrote this and I really want to read this out to all of you. So, okay, here goes. The first thing I want to say that is so important for anyone, especially women, because that's who I work with currently, multidimensional women. Anyone who realizes that everything is energy and that all actions are frequency first, there really isn't a way back. There is no turning back to not knowing. And then, as you move into this place of learning to master energy, you are understanding that yes, okay, there is a cyclical rhythm of the universe, and there are laws to the universe, but there is also an aspect that is a complete mystery. That is the great mystery, that is the mysterious feminine. And that is the Kali energy, the destruction, the death, the rebirth, the womb. You know, when you're pregnant, it takes time for it to be born. And the last thing you want to ask is how. The last thing you want to ask is how long, right? What you do want to is to learn to be so energetically aligned with every ping, every intuition that's coming through you, so that you are playing the game, you're playing the symphony instead of having the symphony play you. And when you do this, this is a powerful place to be. And you keep deepening into this, which, by the way, what often comes up in my mentorship spaces and in my own personal experience is that it starts to become like, it isn't so much about manifesting or do I believe there's God or not. It's not that anymore, or even how to work with this energy. It is actually about anchoring in and solidifying this deep, unwavering connection with your divinity, connecting so deeply with the divine within you, with the Tao within you, your non-self and your self merging as one, or you can call it the unified field, the infinite potential, the power of the unknown, really feeling that, because what truly is the unknown is actually your highest and most divine expression. And it is here for you to be embodied through you, as you, for you. There is no other way for it to be expressed, because like we did in the meditation, if it's just a vision and an imagination, it is only fantasy. It didn't come in and intermingle with the yin aspects of who we are. It literally just stayed out there in the ethers. And this is why so many people would say, oh my God, I had that idea, I had that vision, and now they did it. The other company, they started it, or that woman, she took it. Well, you didn't go and do it, so the vision and the imagination would just go plant seeds somewhere else, because it's inevitable that it is going to be birthed. Will you be the vessel? You have free will. You have free will. So one of the core pillars or core teachings in the fluidity of my mentorship spaces is to harness this unwavering trust, to embody impeccable presence. What that means is just exactly what we talked about. Unlearning, staying in that in-between space and finding power within it, because that power is going to stay with you beyond circumstances. It's not about when the going is good, I feel power, and the going is bad, I don't feel power. It's literally there beyond circumstances, and you learn to unattach from the outcome, because now you fully know, you embody the knowing that everything is happening for me, as me, through me, right? And also, to be honest, if we cannot listen deeply to ourselves, which is impeccable presence, by the way, if we cannot even do that, how can we listen deeply to the divine, what it's saying? How can we even listen deeply and hold space for others without judgment, without having to chase or control how they look at us, without having to prove ourselves that we know more, or without having to force the outcome to make it happen faster, just so that we can prove we're right and we're powerful and we're good and worthy of a testimonial on Google, right? So this is important, especially if you're a healer, if you're a leader, if you're, I don't know, a technician or a chiropractor or whatever. If you're doing work in service with people, like you forcing a result is the last thing that's going to make you to be the person of a great service. It really isn't. You have to find the capability to hold space for the in-between, to deeply listen beyond the results, to deeply listen beyond the prescriptions and what the people have written in books, beyond the textbooks. This is what we are here to do in mentorship. So I'm here for this. I'm really here for this. So it's so important to say that, because if you are doing that, all of that is literally still coming from an outside source, and that is finite, and it will run dry eventually. It will. The only thing that is truly infinite is within. That infinite fountain of light, it's already there. And you know this, you've got this, you've had glimpses of it, you have sporadic connections with it, I have no doubt. And now you can stay connected with it at all times. And maybe you even think right now, you maybe think, you know, I've got this, I've got it connected all the time. But this is another question. Are you still doubting? Are you still asking questions? Where? Who can help me? Where can I find more about this? How can I become better? Where can I get the certification to make sure everyone knows I'm the best? Then you still have work to do. You're still, and we all have this work to do, let's be honest. Let's be honest. For me, I've come to a point where I'm like, I don't need the numbers to certify me. I don't need a certificate to certify me. But I can completely understand if you need that. If you still have the belief that, you know what, to get around this world, I need to be certified, go for it. But to hold impeccable presence, to be of the highest level of service, I fully stand by what I said. Impeccable presence, deep listening, without any judgment, without any force or control or rush, and without a doubt. This is like a woman who is holding space for another woman who's giving birth, and you're not rushing it, you're not doubting yourself, like, oh my god, am I doing the right thing? Like, in the moment, you have to know. Like, you have to know for certainty the uncertainty, and you've got this. You know it's here. And this is my work. Like, my mentorship is truly here for the woman who values that presence and fully desires to be embodied. If you are here and you want to walk as the sacred, you want to see the world as the sacred, you want to treat everything as the sacred, not faking it, not mentally getting it and saying, yeah, but you're constantly thinking, what can I do to that? What can I make use of that? How can I make use of that? No. I'm saying really, fully feeling it, fully not separate from it. You want to land completely within and all around you, because as within, so without, as above, so below. Then come on in. This is the master key to living the unified field that you are. It truly is. So the universe, it hasn't finished its symphony. The symphony is still playing through you. And the real question is, how would you like to play? To be played or to play? Yeah. It is my true belief that living beauty in your everyday life is your greatest service to the world. So if this is what you resonate with, come on in. Let's do this together. Truly. Yeah? All right, beauties. A few more minutes just to pop your questions in, please, if you do. And then we can work through that. In the meantime, I would like to give space to some of the things that are in my world right now that I would love to invite you in to come in and work with me if this is something you would like to continue to journey on and really dive deep into. So I have this beautiful 12-month mastermind journey called Initiating Awakening. It will start in January. And what it really is, it's really for the woman who knows that she can keep creating more and she can keep growing, not because she has like this version is not good enough, not that, but like she knows that in cosmic alignment, as with nature, we are always here to grow. and you want to grow with grace, you want to learn how to work with the quantum. And what we're going to do is really transcendence, finding joy and freedom in every moment. And like I said, walk as the sacred, see as the sacred. And so what's happening now in my world, Initiating Awakening is actually at pre-sale price. So if you want to dive right in right now, you can pay in full or go on a payment plan. So this is something that's happening in my world, and we will start in January. Now, there's something incredible. If you feel like 12 months, maybe not. There's something that's happening right now that is called the Higher Self Activation Journey, the Outgrowth Edition. And this is a pure channeled journey, a 1-month journey that I am running at the next 24 hours when you get into this place at only $333. The original price is $1,666, I believe. So in the next 24 hours is running at 333 pounds. So for 1 month, you get to journey with me. We have Telegram Q&As, we have tea ceremony activations. You get sent the exquisite living tea that I spoke about. They are very, very unique, and it's just not like your average tea, basically. And they are sourced from indigenous origin, ancient growth trees, wild trees that really help to facilitate the ceremonial space, the sacredness of the journey. So the Outgrowth edition of the Higher Self Activation Journey is very unique because it is truly born out of my own experience of being an outlier, what it means to grow out of a space, because a lot of us are afraid of growing out of a comfort zone or a space that we think, oh, this is my friend circle, but I don't really vibe with them anymore. How do I get out of it? All of those things, we're going to walk together. And we're going to journey together. We're going to expand together in this space. So if this is for you in the next 24 hours, it's going to be sold at 333 pounds. And then after that, the price will go up. And the highest level of the price will be 1,666 pounds, okay? So if you join Initiating Awakening, which is the 12-month journey, you will receive this as part of it, as a bonus from me to you. So Initiating Awakening, you can join today, and the doors will close on the 5th of January. So if you are thinking of that and you have questions, drop me a DM, just message me, and we can chat. No pressure to buy or not to buy, but if you already know, you can absolutely swing to the link in my bio and just purchase it. Like, let's freaking go, right? Let's freaking go energy. Let's see, what else is there? I think that's about it all, my loves. So I'm so excited. I'm so glad. I mean, on Insight Timer, I have 112 of you, amazing women. Jennifer, thank you. And on this Instagram, I mean, coming and going, I've got a couple of beautiful women. I think my client, incredible woman who's been renewing over and over again. Like, I'm so freaking proud of her because I've seen her transformation. She's been here all the way. And I just want this for you. I really do. I'm not saying to put me on the pedestal. I'm not saying I know everything, but I'm definitely devoted and committed and really unafraid of the unknown, and I can hold space for all parts of you. Very, very much so. Very, very much so. And I don't push, I don't shovel, I don't fix. I just don't, because I know who you are. You are whole and complete, and you are the cosmos playing your incredible symphony, and you're every part of the great symphony. You're every part of the collective symphony. So play full out, because gosh, we only have this one life. So one final thing, if you feel like, okay, well, these two things are not for me right now, I also have the Higher Self Activation recording that has been like one of my best sellers. You can purchase that on my shop front. So that's, I think, 88 pounds, I can't remember, but it's around that price that you can immediately dive right into. And then if you feel like, okay, I really want to do this, you have until the 5th of January to come into Initiating Awakening. And of course, like I said, Outgrowth Edition, the 1-month journey, the Higher Self Activation Journey, that's also kicking off in January on the 5th. So come on in. Oh, actually, Outgrowth Edition is kicking off on the 21st, I believe. Sorry. See, I've got things going on, but just DM me and I'll make sure I get the correct details out to you. All right, beauties? Thank you so much for being here. I really, really enjoyed it. If you love this, please feel free to share my profile, share my work. It really means the world to me. The more people can get in touch with this and their selves, the more the world will shine. So please do. Every ripple counts, and you are the ripple. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, BD. And thank you, whoever that is on Instagram. Thank you all. And let me make sure I didn't miss anything. All right, I think that is all. All right, beauties. Sending you all my love. And I will see you again very soon, 2025. And for the ones who are coming in, welcome. All right, loves. Bye.